Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. To be more specific, this is Leatherface depicting his appearance in the old Atari video game. It is recommended for ages 17 and up. Again, you've got a very aged, weathered looking box, which is a really nice touch by NECA. You've got the box art cover on the front, and on the side, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and on the back, a read-up says, "Put aside your childish pastimes, stop eating dots and chasing ghosts. A ripping, revving chainsaw is at your command as you wear the leather mask of a madman. Your victims come face to face with a living nightmare as you wield the ultimate weapon, an unrelentless chainsaw. Let your most wicked fantasy go wild. Know the total pleasures of destruction as you pursue your victims with the razor-sharp teeth of a hungry chainsaw." The story is true, the movie is chilling, the action figure is horrifying. Finally, as well, on the inside of the box, you've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You've also got Leatherface on the inside there, all of which we will have a look at when we get this opened up. And finally, you can head over to www.necaonline.com to check out the other figures and licensing properties that they are covering currently. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, but when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Atari Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With Leatherface out of packaging, let's get a better look at the figure. Normally, Spot is all for the video game releases from NECA, and I think what makes them such strong releases is that even if you don't follow the property or the source material that the video game character, well, the figure is based from, you can still appreciate the figure because it has really cool paint scheme to it. The Predator, RoboCop, all of those figures, because they were so heavily influenced by the video game appearance that they were looking like, they looked very distinctly different than their original releases. However, you could still appreciate them for a very different design feature. Leatherface, on the other hand, well, the biggest problem with Leatherface is that this particular source material, if you ever saw the old video game footage of the Atari Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, Leatherface really looked exactly like this. For good or bad, he did look exactly like this. It was essentially a green figure character running on the screen with his chainsaw. He had like black boots, and you really could only make out his mask. Everything else was green. NECA has faithfully recreated that in figure form, but the downside though to it is, at the end of the day, it's a Leatherface that's all green with a regular mask. And even like the mask is very simplified. Let's bring the camera in, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The face still utilizes, or actually the entire figure I should say, utilizes the ultimate Leatherface figure. Same mold, just painted a lot different. So details such as the mouth and the eyes have now colored in completely with black. The hair is still black, and the mask is just a very neutral, singular color, almost like a tan. I don't know what it is. It almost makes it look scarier having Leatherface with completely black mouth, black lips, black teeth, and black eyes. It really makes him look scary. Not to say that Leatherface wasn't scary already. He was pretty scary. So I like that. The downside though, as mentioned already, the rest of the figure is all green. Even if you, well, if you loved Leatherface in the Atari game, you'll love this figure because it's doing exactly what it needs to do. It's an all green figure with Leatherface's mask. However, though, putting him on the shelf, it will look a little jarring to anybody that's coming in, and they're going to question why Leatherface is all green, and you have to kind of stop and say, well, it's kind of how he appears in the original Atari video game. And he is very green. He is very, very green. The material on his apron is the same material as the ultimate Leatherface. I was going to say Jason Voorhees. So it's kind of this faux leather material. It's done up at the back, and that's about the only area where you'll see a non-green color is on the interior, on the underside of the apron. Everything else, again, is all green. Even his one accessory, his chainsaw, is also all green. If you didn't like the color green, you might maybe have a sense of overload here with well, this particular Leatherface being all green. You can take the chainsaw, you just have to move his fingers just slightly out of the way. And you can take the chainsaw and attach it to the inside of his hand. There we go. And it clears enough that you can take the other hand. Just pry the fingers slightly just to get the hand around the handle. It's again, a great figure. I love the original design of the Ultimate Leatherface. But again, like all green, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I'm struggling a bit to get, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna probably display him with chainsaw in hand. I have to still get the hand completely around the handle. I'm probably gonna display him as what you see right here. But yes, it will look a little off versus some of the others. And nothing against NECA, because I appreciate the fact that NECA would have given us a Leatherface depicting from an Atari release. It's a smart way to take an existing figure that really, on his own, can't be really retooled for a lot of other reasons. Like if you want to take the core figure and not do anything to it, not a new head sculpt, not a new arm tooling or leg tooling, if you take the existing figure, if you want to take an existing figure like this and make it into a new figure, well, pickings are a little slim, unfortunately, when it comes to Leatherface. So I love the fact that NECA would have branched out and thought outside the box by giving us an Atari release. At the end of the day, though, it's just a lot of green to take in. When it comes to his posability, let's go ahead and take the chainsaw out of his hand. Put that to the side. Leatherface's articulation would be the exact same as what we saw with the Ultimate Leatherface. His head is on a ball joint, which moves left and right, easily up and down, no issues there. Shoulders hinge out. Shoulders also allow the arms to rotate all the way around. A bend in the elbow, which also rotates the forearm. A swivel and hinge in the ball joint of the wrist. He's got a ball joint torso, which also allows the waist to swivel. And legs, as with the original, hinge out, forward and back, a bend at the knee, which also rotates the lower leg, and also a hinge and rotation in the ankle shoe area. It's I'm a little uncertain how to really grade a figure like this. The figure is great. I love the original Ultimate Leatherface, but I think this is not necessarily for a casual collector. This is specifically for somebody that's collecting the video game treatments of all the figures. Really have been collecting like all of them, the Leatherfaces, the old Leatherface here, the Jason Voorhees, the Freddy Krueger, that you can then add it to that collection. I don't know, unless you are a big Leatherface fan, you may just want to pick this figure up on its own, because again, he's so very green. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys, the Atari release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.